What's going on, everyone? Oh, whoops. What's going on, everyone? My name is ExcludedSky, and I am here
Oh my god.
with SkyPig Gaming, or Big Ducks, and
Hey
that
guys.
was the weird intro. But, oh well, it's an intro nonetheless. And I'm trying to get my microphone to stay up, if you're wondering what that noise is.
We're so unprepared.
Yes, I am. I did not start Audacity when I was supposed to. So that was a fun day.
Okay, but anyways, guys, we're back in business with Sky's amazing new camera. And sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm tired. It's like 12. Why am I tired?
Ooh, we slept until like 10. You shouldn't be tired.
We stayed up till like anyways, guys, we stayed up last night until like 12? 12, yeah.
Yeah.
Stayed up till like 12. Woke up. Woke up like.
Because we had to download files.
Yeah.
Now, you're not going to be able to see this until sometime after, probably around Wednesday, maybe. So, yeah. You know.
Yeah. It's a new video coming out soon, you guys. It's not really one of our gaming videos like we usually would do, but it's it's a project.
And then the bloopers will be coming out 2-3 hours after that video.
There's a lot of bloopers and deleted scenes. Like, really, it's like a 6-minute video. The whole thing took us like almost 4 hours. So yes. Anyways, like we are back with our not our first, but like with a new lost episode by one of our beloved Creepypasta gamers, Someone Ray Gamers. Now, we have seen this one before a few months ago, but I can't really remember everything, so don't worry, we'll still come up with some good commentary for it.
Yep.
I think I know I'm tired and just hungry. Alright. Starting in 3, 2, 1. 19 minutes, good god, I don't remember it being that long. Do you remember it being this long? I remember it being like a 9-minute video, not like 19 minutes.
I can't remember.
I can barely even hear anything.
And my video is gonna lag because I forgot I am rendering that video and it's gonna do this to me.
Dude, the Ed, Ed and Eddie one really is a lost episode.
Yeah, it's gonna do this shit
I'll
with
start
me.
over.
Fuck. Or it's buffering
I'll start over.
all the time. Might have to.
Okay, let's just restart. Sorry guys, we're kind of, so the video we told you that's going to be coming out soon, it's kind of in the writing process at the moment. So,
It has an hour 16 minutes left on it.
Yeah, it's kind of in the running process at this very moment as we speak, so technical difficulties.
Because look at that. I'm showing it on my camera. Look at that right there. That's the rendering process for Sony Vegas. That is being rendered as we speak. Actually, by the time you guys see this video, it'll done be rendered and uploaded.
So, hey! Lucky you! Alright, so let's just give it a restart. Let me know when you're ready.
Ready when
3, 2, 1. It's kind of good to just like start over because I couldn't even hear anything. He's like screwing around with volume a little
welcome
bit.
back to another lost episode Creepypasta. Yes, the series where we take a look at your favorite television shows.
He needs to get closer to his
The
mic.
idea that there is an episode of it that would be a little too
Oh, I know.
morbid. We've covered SpongeBob SquarePants,
yeah.
The Simpsons, and even Ed, Ed and Eddie. Now we're covering the amazing world
Yeah, I
of
like
Gumball, so
Jackson's
sit
guy.
back, relax, and enjoy this lost episode.
Oh, it plays all around.
I've always loved Cartoon Network. When I was growing up, it was my favorite
Just
channel
get
to
super
watch.
close.
Exactly.
They had some good shows, like Adventure Time and regular
Okay,
shows.
there it is.
One
Oh,
of the
it's
newest
loud.
shows on the network, The Amazing World
Yes.
of Gumball, is a cute and mildly entertaining show. Not really my cup of tea, it's a little immature, but my little brother seems to like it a lot. So one day
Are
I
you
was
kidding
watching
me?
Adult Swim when I realized that I'd been up so late that I hadn't even kept track of the time. It was already 4 a.m. I don't recall ever watching as
You know, just in case some of you guys didn't know, it was originally going to be called The Amazing Life of Gumball. It was literally on the commercials, but after a while of advertising it before the series came out, they changed it.
I was a little confused.
Some people didn't believe me, and I was like, nah, man, it's true.
New show coming on this early.
Believe it or not.
But I was bored and decided I'd watch it, thinking it might come on later in the day so I could spoil it for my brother. Sort of mean, I know. The flashy and energetic intro is being played, although it was played a little differently than I recall. The music was different, and the show's logo wasn't animated. Its colors were done rather sloppily as well, almost something like a little kid would do on a doodle board or a globe board. I ignored it, assuming it was just done for this special episode. The title of the episode was The Grieving, a sort of sad title, but I didn't really pay too much attention. It began with Gumball, the show's 12-year-old protagonist, standing alone facing a corner of this dimly lit classroom. He looked absolutely miserable, a far cry from the cheery demeanor he usually had. There was no one else in the room, not even his best friend and adopted brother, Darwin the goldfish. And the windows in the room clearly showed the night sky outside. I was really starting to get confused. Why would he be at school at night, and why was he standing in the corner all sad and alone? After what seemed like a minute of Gumball standing somberly in the corner, the scene suddenly changed. We were in Gumball's house. Once again, the scene is silent and a little disquieting. Richard, Gumball's enormous rabbit father, walks in from the kitchen. He looked even more miserable than Gumball had been in the previous scene. Richard isn't wearing his usual attire. He's dressed in this fancy black suit, a little uncharacteristic of him, as he's usually a slob.
Yep, he's in here.
He sighs and slumps down under the sofa and starts sobbing intensely, sounding like someone who had just lost something important. I was starting to get a little creeped out. Where was the silly, fun cartoon that I usually look forward to watching with my younger brother?
Yes.
This is something completely different. I was beginning to think that this might have been something the creators did as an experiment or something, a test of the animation or sound perhaps? Though it couldn't have been, aside from the opening scene, which was still different than the final shows. The episode had been much quieter than it usually was, only subtle sounds and very little music, and the animation was not anything to write home about either. It was done a bit like an amateur Flash on Newgrounds. The character designs were somewhat sloppy and rush-looking, and the real-life backgrounds used for the show looked different. As confused and somewhat frightened as I was, for some reason I kept watching it. Poor Richard was still sobbing on the sofa as the front door opened suddenly, making me jump a bit at such a loud noise. And
yeah, I mean, if something doesn't seem right, of course you have to continue watching it. You just have to.
Richard, she wasn't wearing her usual outfit, but for some reason she was in this black dress and was wearing a pretty black hat to match. Nicole sat down on the couch to comfort her husband, although she was looking a bit saddened by herself. By this point, Richard's crying had began to get more pained and miserable sounding. This wasn't the normal cartoon crying on the show. This was realistic and almost depressing crying. I almost felt like sobbing myself, too. Finally, after what seemed like hours, the sad scene at their home had ended, and as I shifted back to the school, we weren't in Gumball's classroom this time. We were in Principal Brown's office. Nicole and Richard were there in their usual clothes, looking more normal and happy than they had been before, but still slightly worried. Principal Brown, however, looked extremely sad. He quietly and somberly informed them that their children, Anais and Darwin, were not present after lunch earlier that day. They hadn't been seen at all the rest of the day for, that fact. Nicole was instantly furious at him. She began spouting various insults and calls at him, and I don't think it would have made a more mature program like regular show. I mean, I was laughing at this because it seemed sort of funny for Nicole to flip out in this manner and start swearing like a sailor in a G-rated cartoon, throwing cusses everywhere. But my outlook seemed to change when Principal Brown told her something else after she had finally quieted down. Her eyes began to tear up as he informed them that they eventually were found, but they hadn't been found alive. He then went into graphic and nearly nauseating detail describing how their bodies were found, their parents just sitting in utter shock. I could hardly believe what was happening. How could such a cheery and fun kids show take this dark and twisted turn? I was considering turning that television off, but I was too scared to be left in the dark by now, nearly frozen by fear and disturbed intensely at the terrible things that he was saying. Oh, the flashback. The scene was earlier that day, and the animation in the scene was even worse than earlier. It's like that feeling of when I used to go to bed at like 1 in the morning after reading a ton of Creepypastas on the recollection by saying that the school had called the police department when they first turned up missing.
I remember
believing that the kids had simply ran off and decided to skip school. They said it was very uncharacteristic of both Darwin and Anais to go skip, school like delinquents.
Whenever I was a kid,
Darwin was a little naive and a bit
Thomas used to hang out,
but he was a good kid and wouldn't have been even dreamed of doing something like that.
One of my older
friends.
Even less
we'll tell you guys more about it in the
outro. She was a straight-A student. Despite being only 4, which also troubled the police, seeing as a defenseless 4-year-old little girl was missing as well as an older boy. The school had been thoroughly checked. As the police started to search the heavily wooded area outside the school, it took a little time for the police to discover the horrifying fate of Anais. In a small clearing outside of the school, Anais' head was found in a small box. You likely would have expected something like that to be on the show in this cutesy art style, but it was nothing like that at all. It was just very real-looking blood that covered this box.
No, you wouldn't expect that scene at all.
Was done in this normal style, but was drenched in
blood.
You
would not expect that at all. Like, really?
Not all of them hers, apparently.
Have you seen?
There was a note in that box, seemingly written in her blood.
No.
It was never stated during the episode what was written on the note, but it apparently led to the rest of her remains in Darwin's heavily mutilated corpse. What I remember most about this scene was how out of place it seemed. All the blood and gore from Darwin and Anais slaughtered and dismembered remains were done in this very realistic and disturbing way. It looked like the scene had been taken from a crime scene photograph done by a professional, not something from a cartoon. The way this scene was animated was different from most of the show as well. You may know that the characters from the series are done in this vastly different animation style, from flash animation
hyper-realistic,
to
that's what it is.
imagery, and I think there's even a character done by someone putting their chin upside down to make a face.
Yep.
The particular scene wasn't like anything I'd seen on the show before. Every little detail on Darwin's face was clearly illustrated. He looked a little like a zombie. His face was very pale, and his eyes had been gouged out by someone. Anais fared no better.
I love it. I think you guys are gonna love it too.
She was naked, and her stomach had been slit open. Her intestines were strewn around the trees and bushes.
Even though
were
it's
done once again in this very morbid and realistic fashion. I was feeling very ill by the time this incredibly disturbing flashback had come to an end, so I quickly ran to the bathroom to vomit. I was feeling rather
by Rachel to
I was feeling better after this upchucking, so I
realized what are you doing?
And I had to run to the bathroom during this commercial. It was then I noticed that the show had been running twice as long. Usually it runs for 11 minutes, but the show was running for about 30. By then I was wondering if there was any information on the grieving on IMDb
you guys,
or something.
I can't edit.
So while the commercials were still playing, I looked up some information about this episode on Google. Nothing comes up. No information remotely similar to the plot or name of this episode existed. Now incredibly scared and wondering if anyone else was watching, I quickly called my brother Larry and asked him to turn on Cartoon Network to see if he was seeing the same shit that I was. He was pretty mad that I woke him up at this hour, but he's a nice guy and he told me that he would, see for me.
So you can help me
I
out on the
thanked him, stayed on the line as the show came back
to
from
do
commercial
it
break. The scene had thankfully panned
time.
away from the horrific sight of the children mutilated and was back to the principal's office.
I think it's interesting. I think it's really interesting in this, like how he's like the only one who can see it. You know, I mean, as much as it's a cliche,
he said he saw
I do
nothing
kind of
like
like it in this one.
Instead, it was a rerun of
It's always been like a rather decent cliche, just like.
Another shock. I dropped the phone and ran
just
over
like
to the
I'm
TV
not
to turn
crazy,
it
you
off.
guys. I know what I saw.
As hard as I pressed the button,
Yeah,
it did
well, I
not
didn't
shut
see
off
that.
at all. I tried every
there.
single button. None of them did a damn thing. I tried unplugging the whole thing as well, but nothing worked. The TV stayed on no matter what I did. Larry hung up, assuming that I was playing a joke or something, I guess. And I was alone once again. My door was locked from the outside somehow, and the door to my bathroom was now locked as well. It seemed I had no choice but to call the police, since my other family members were gone that night. There was a reason I could stay up so late to watch Adult Swim in the first place, so when I hurriedly dialed the number, I accidentally dropped my cell phone into the cup of Pepsi.
Well, of course it's the only reason.
That episode, turn on all the lights,
parents
in my
aren't
room,
home.
got under the covers, hiding like my little brother does when I make him watch scary movies with me. I had apparently missed a little bit, but Gumball's parents were still talking to Principal Brown, so not that much. Nicole was asking him if Gumball was alright, apparently since she hadn't remembered him when Principal Brown told her what happened to Darwin and Anais. He looked slightly confused and shocked for a moment, and explained to her that he thought Gumball was out sick today, and he spent the day at home by himself with the stomach bug. Nicole screamed and wailed, while Richard quietly told him in a very out-of-character voice that they thought Gumball had got on the bus this morning. But it didn't seem that way. The police were called once again to search the building in the small forest outside of Elmore Junior High. They had found him in Miss Semane's classroom, hanging by a noose, with a blood-covered knife behind him and blood covering his clothing. The episode ended with a shot of Gumball's dead body hanging there, fading to black. The credits rolled silently.
I don't don't remember
Not like
that.
the usual way of Cartoon Network annoyingly airing a promo that squishes half the screen. These credits rolled unusually slow, and they weren't that fun to watch either. A little creepy, just plain white text scrolling on a black background.
Yeah, it does that. It's so
I only
annoying.
recognize
Cause like,
Ben
okay, so like when I used to
Boca,
watch Adventure Time,
as he
like,
was the creator
yes,
of the show.
I
The
did,
rest
you
were
guys.
people I've never heard of. The copyright notice at
I
the
mean,
end
if I
said
had a video
Cartoon
for it, I
Network
would show you,
Studios,
but I don't. I was
2001,
actually
which
Fiona
was incredibly
from
odd
Fiona
since the
Cake
show was new for
2 years
2011.
ago for Comic-Con.
After all that was
So,
clearly over,
I didn't realize
the
this,
screen
but they
went to
actually
static for a
showed the
split second,
full
during which
screen
scene-
credits of Adventure Time, and
which
it had
some,
music, and I was
incredibly
like,
creepy, and these
it actually
shocking
has
video
music?
clips were shown during
This show
static
has
intervals.
credits?
I can still remember them
Why?
all very clearly. The first was a picture of a person in this
You know,
plague
Cartoon
doctor
Network does that.
outfit.
It's terrible.
You know, the one with the, bird style
know.
face.
They need to do it like
Those always
Netflix
scared me
style.
for some reason. And the way that person in the suit was
Or what
filmed was
Netflix used to do.
a red light, something that freaks me out incredibly, was shown over the clip. The next was what seemed like a video being played very quickly, over and over of a kitten's face being squished by a woman wearing high heels. Which is strange because a so-called friend of mine sent me a picture yesterday of a cat being stepped on a hill, similar
remember
to the
this.
kitten in the video. The last one was the one that
I don't
disturbed me
either.
the most, and made me want to cry and vomit my guts out. It was my little brother, or at least a small child, who was
Sounds
very
like
similar
Rap Rat
to him,
again, dude.
being shot in the face by a person who looked like my father. You could clearly see the child's brain and blood splatter all over the wall. I began to sob uncontrollably after that traumatizing clip. So much so that
This
I
is like
passed
officially
out.
taken the Rap Rat turn.
When I woke up, my door was unlocked, and my television was turned off.
Yeah.
I went to call the police on the home phone. And
Why
I
is it always
report that
creepy
I
when
had
you
seen
hear
some
these
weird
things
I
the
don't
second
know!
time? Like,
But
seriously.
my doors
It's
had been
not.
locked.
No.
When they arrived,
I don't
could
remember
find,
it being this
nothing.
scary,
Dude, it's
though.
not
I remember,
that.
from earlier this morning, my
It's not
internet
that.
history
It's
was
just
even
that-
clear.
I mean,
They were
creepy,
angry.
should
It's
I
not.
say.
It's not that.
And
It's
just
like
assumed
it's
that I
worse
had
at
had
the
a
same
bad
time. It's
nightmare.
that we don't
When I
remember
was sure I
half of
had.
this.
Thankfully, one of the officers felt bad for me and took me out to a small
True.
diner so I could
I
recollect my
swear,
thoughts.
Celestia, I remember this being
At the diner, I
9 minutes.
remembered that my family was out visiting my aunt, and they were supposed to be back by noon
Nope.
or so. It was already 11, so the officer and I drove back only to
That's
find
what
a
they always say.
whole
Come
squad
on,
of
dude.
police cars and even
Your
some
parents
government
are
agents
they're
at
gonna be
my
home at a
house.
certain time. You
They
know they're not
explained to
going
me
to be.
that my little brother was
Good-heart,
missing, and
good,
that my
you're
mother
too
and
shot.
father
Come
were
on,
major
man.
suspects. Yeah, I was freaking out and trying to
know.
tell them what the
Even
disturbing
I
clip of
could
the boy
kill
who looked
that.
like my brother being shot in the head, but they wouldn't
Not to
listen.
be bragging,
I stayed with
but
my older brother Larry, who wouldn't believe me either. Still
Guys, if
insisting
you
that,
play Left 4 Dead
all he
and
saw
you've
was an
heard
old
what
Looney Tunes
jockeys
cartoon,
sound
nothing
like,
creepy
I saw
or
someone in
weird.
the
The cops
news who had
eventually
the
told me
laugh
that
of
they
a
would contact
jockey. It
Turner
was so
Broadcasting and
creepy.
tell them about the incident. A representative from Turner Broadcasting came to my cousin's house to talk to me in private about what I had seen and experienced that night. He was very kind, but it all seemed a little like some sort of front.
Crazy.
After I could tell him all I remembered, he agreed to play back that day's programming from when the incident with the disturbing Gumball episode had occurred. To my shock, all that was airing at the time was an old Looney Tunes short. Nothing more, nothing less. I hysterically sobbed and moaned that what I had experienced and seen was completely real. But no one listened. Eventually, I discovered that Ben
Blame them.
Bocella had a Twitter account, so I sent a message about the episode, and this is the reply I got. One thing, how in the heck did you find that? I never, ever, ever thought that I would think about that old shame again. Don't tell anyone this, Sarah. Yeah, that's my name, Sarah. But the amazing world of Gumball goes back further than you know.
Oh, that was.
I
Oh, I
used to
remember
have
being a
really boring
guy.
job as a teen, and I sketched little drawings of the
Just
water
like the way it
scenes and
sounds, like about
the
how
episode you
she
saw
treats her
was
little
never
brother. It
supposed to be
seems
seen by anyone
like
but
something
me and a
an
few
older
friends of
brother
mine.
would do.
It was a very, very awful thing to do, but we made the episode as a joke. The guy from my old job, who everyone hated, had lost a child to a crazed serial killer who is still apparently out there somewhere. Anyways, we made it so we could make fun of how he came into work usually, crying like a
So
fool.
you made it.
Which is
You
why
made a
you
joke
saw me
episode
Mr.
off
and
of
Mrs.
it. That's
Watterson
cruel.
cry so much in the episode. I know. I'm deeply sorry for
That
what I
is
did.
cruel.
Which is why I tried to
Imagine
bury that
if
stupid
you're.
thing years ago.
Imagine.
Literally, I
Imagine
went
if that
out
hated
into the
worker
countryside
like
with my
saw
mates
that. You know
and
how
dug a hole and buried
offended
it.
that he would be.
What I don't get, though, is how you describe the blood and guts and stuff.
That's
We didn't have
messed
any
up.
scene from Darwin and Anasa's bodies being found. All that happens in the episode is the parents are informed of the kids being found dead, and I'm crying like crazy.
It's a
We didn't draw
great
anything in the
creepypasta.
episode like that
Like, it is an
at all.
excellent
We're
one.
not that sick. Now, this is my theory.
Yeah, but
The
still,
Looney
that is
Tunes
We're not
killed
that
them
sick.
outside, found the tape we buried, watched it at the end,
Oh God,
then
that
hijacked
reminds
the
me of
local
another
TV
one.
station
No.
You don't need to
No.
know somehow. And got to the episode on the air
No.
on your local
No,
Cartoon
actually-
Network station. Now, while your
No,
brother
that
couldn't
sounds
see
just
it, I
like
have no
it.
idea.
Oh God.
Why, it seems you're the only one who saw it.
Sky.
I have no idea either.
You
Sorry,
know
but
what that
it's
sounds
just
like?
Now, for the explanation you've been
We're not
waiting
that.
for, the
We're
clip
not
to
that
the end,
sick.
I
You
do
know
not
You know
know.
what that sounds
I
just
don't.
like?
I'm deeply sorry.
I'm
From
not
the
a
bottom
bad
of my heart.
mouse.
but I don't know why this puts
No!
the air. I just don't. I'm
You
sorry,
guys
I
will
really
understand
am.
that later. We may or may not
But
do
me and
that
my mates are
creepypasta.
just the ones who made
Maybe.
those scenes with Richard and
I
Nicole
have to
crying.
get
That's
him
it.
to do it.
I'm so sorry, sir. I'm deeply sorry. Best wishes,
No.
Ben,
I forced him
Kelly,
into
and
watching
everyone
it
involved
by
with
himself once,
the grieving.
and he like
Well, we haven't had
kinda
a
has a
lost
thing
episode of
against me
Creepypasta
for
in a
it.
while, so how was that? Pretty nice length, but the tale itself was kind of an on and off thing for me. Now, if you don't know what I Muda Hard do in real life is video editing for the in real life world out there. So when I come across pastas like this, I absolutely love them because and you can tell why I become so critical of them. My ideal pasta for this kind of genre is Dead Bart or Squidward Suicide, and the reason they are is because they feel like they really can happen. I mean, I've worked on projects that, some people like people like you who view content on TV, movie, YouTube, whatever, may like watching, and in that process, when I work on those projects, and when I'm in the post-production environment, I'll tell you, we do kind of have some scenes, not morbid scenes or anything, but we do fuck around in post, that, and that stuff never goes to air, it never goes anywhere online, hell no, you never see it. Us editors do fuck around with your favorite shows,
I mean, you can't,
especially
I mean,
if it's
you can't just,
animation,
like, make a
because,
video without
if you know how to do it,
screwing around
we'll fuck around here and there while something's running, whatever.
Totally.
So we can create, lost footage material, nothing morbid or anything. I've never, done anything morbid. No, that's never fucking happened. But, other stuff we can do. So when I see a pasta like this, I definitely feel how real it could be. I mean, you can take this YouTube channel for starters, too. It has 102 privated videos that are complete videos, intros, outro, extras, everything, that were never released for one reason or another. I mean, there could be a lost episode of Creepypasta. I mean, might make that happen. I don't know. But staying on topic, we do have a story where we have this cheery show that I never watched.
That'd be
personally,
sick.
But my brother had at one point, so I guess you could say it's kind of a
That'd be awesome.
Creepypasta will,
Oh, if only it was
on a
a
personal
thing.
scale.
Why?
But I really don't have a connection to the show in
Dude,
particular.
I
But what
would
I do know
love
is
to
that it
see
does not have serial killers or anything that's morbid. But the whole animation style with the flash and CGI, you sort of see it as different animation styles tossed together, which is really nice to see. And if you haven't seen the show, you should definitely go check it out. But if you notice, the whole phenomenon goes from this morbid explanation of dead children, which if you notice, the pasta is trying to build up to, but you figure it out too easily. So exposition wasn't the strong suit here.
And
when you have the dead children, and you go to all the, when you get to the final, viewpoint, it just seems a little too bland. What made Dead Bart and Squidward Suicide, another, lost episode Creepypasta so great, Morbus.avi, I will even toss that in, was that they had these little images that they would season in, and the whole atmosphere seemed believable. It kept going back from this lost episode to the left side.
It's like, so basically it's almost the same thing in a nutshell, except
you don't have that
basically it's just Bart falls out of a plane because dad, he's like screwing around with his dad, gets pissed at him. I think a window breaks or something and he falls out, I
personally feel it happened too fast.
Something like that, and it's just like a bunch of static, and it's like non-stop of just like his family, just like crying over his death, and it's just like nothing like that, and like static, in and out, and it's just really
that way, but we'll let it slide. The whole Twitter messaging at the end, I thought was
thumbnail
kind of
looks so retarded.
But again, we'll let that kind of slide. It wasn't all too bad. I'm just being hypercritical because this is
Twitter messaging when it was thrown in. Dude, not
these
even.
kind of creepypastas. Oh no, wasn't too bad.
That sounded like it was legit,
it was certainly no Squidward Suicide or Morbus.avi or Dead Bart or anything else, which I hold in high regards. Again, I'll say that numerous times. So that being said, please let me know what you thought about it, and what would you do to make it better. This has been another lost episode, and if you like what you saw, then like, comment, and subscribe.
Dead Bart, no, I wouldn't even compare it to this, but between this one and Squidward Suicide, yeah, kind of hard to say. I mean, because this one, it doesn't have any actual footage, like, hidden for, like, anywhere on the internet for, like, what Sarah might have seen. But Squidward Suicide, there actually is a little bit of footage, like, whether it be faked or real. Because some of it seems like it might just be legit. Why do I have another ad?
But anyways, back to Sky's story time. I remember me and Thomas were...
And we'll explain who that is.
Yeah. Me and Thomas were sitting around doing nothing, and it was during the summer.
Summer of...
And this relates, like, somewhere like 2-3 years ago, I don't know. It's been a while, though. And we were just goofing around on Call of Duty Zombies, and at the time, there's this rumor going around zombies. I think it was either Black Ops 1 zombies or something like that. That you could access a cheat to get some kind of wonder weapon. And me and Thomas wanted to see if it worked.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, because usually there'd be rumors all around, like, elementary and middle school about these, like, sick things in video games, and of course you'd want to try it, but, like, and usually it just turns out to be a line, and just like, aww.
And this is way before I started YouTube, like, in 2012. This is way before I started YouTubing, like, so, really, me and him just sat down literally all night. We pulled an all-nighter. Actually, we almost pulled 2 all-nighters because we played throughout the entire next day. But we died. But anyways, me and him had gotten to like round 112 after playing all night. We did the Easter eggs for that map. We had gotten every weapon in the mystery box. There was literally no weapons left to get. We had pack-a-punched over 6-7 times different weapons, and we were just like, what
Sorry guys, I thought I heard something.
Now?
Yeah.
So then, after we got done playing, this is really what freaked me out. We had gotten off, we had paused the game for however long we were going to be gone and off. And my mom was asleep in bed, so me and him were hungry because we hadn't eaten in a couple hours. So me and him got up, and believe it or not, me and him both heard something like a zombie.
Oh, what the hell, dude? Unless you were just hearing things because you were playing for that long, I don't know. That's... Oh, dude, what the hell?
I don't know, like, me and him both heard it, though, like, the same zombie moan as well, not different.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, I looked over at Thomas, like, did you hear that? And it's like, the zombie moan, and I'm like,
that's insane.
Yeah. He's like, nah, we gotta be hallucinating, and I'm like, yeah, just hallucinating.
That's crazy, dude. You know, I just realized, so, we may or may not do this one.
I didn't sleep for the rest of the night.
I don't know, maybe we should do this one as Creepypasta, but, there's like actually a COD Zombies Creepypasta. I think it's isn't it just called Mirrors? He stumbled upon it, and now he's like mentally scarred for like the rest of his life. And I watched it, and I was like, it's a little weird. And then my cousin, like one of my cousins who plays Xbox as well. Thank you so much for the games. So she got me GTA 4 and like a bunch of other stuff. It's awesome. And I just realized I actually got COD Ghost now, and I was like, wait a minute. And I looked at, like, you probably saw this, you guys. I kind of looked concerned for a second. I like looked over, like, I was looking at my closet doors because originally I just had like white, just kind of plain wood closet doors, and they got so annoying. And I thought it'd be like kind of easier in my room if I had mirrors, because I mean, my mom did her office, and like I'd always like be using it to maybe like if I need to see something right fast, I would just kind of use that. So my mom, I want mirror doors in my room. But then I realized, wait a minute. Oh no. Put that nightmare I had 2 years ago, plus the COD Creepypasta, plus the fact that I had the game, and now that I have mirror doors, and I'm just like, oh, that's...
Fuck in the fucking...
Yeah, that's terrible. Like, if I ever stumble across a mirror in COD Ghost, if I can never get the freaking game to load, I'm just gonna slowly walk away and probably walk out of my room because I have like 3 mirrors in here.
But anyways, you guys, thank you all for watching, and...
Oh yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And we're running out of ideas. We really, really need some suggestions. Bye.